Hey, this is Idria, and I'm going to give you kind of at least my first attempt on the new Idria mine ride. I'll definitely be going back once the weather clears up, but this was my first solo kind of off-road ride up to New Idria. And a couple things. New Idria is about an hour outside of Hollister. And it's actually a really nice ride to get out there. It is pretty much off the grid, no cell service, and the road, as you can see at least on this part, is pretty. It's not undoable, and it's definitely fun. I mean, this type of riding is at least fun to me. So, but there will be a couple moments, I'm sure. I'm riding a Himalayan, a 2018 Himalayan, totally stock. And, one of the mistakes I made, which I will rectify next time, is I didn't air down my tire pressure. I'd realized when I got to kind of a more technical section, and I went to go air down, that I didn't have my tire pressure monitor or gauge with me. Again, I had taken it out anyway, whatever. So I didn't have it with me. So that's now been rectified. It wasn't in my tool bag. So anyway, so definitely because of the sharp rocks and the terrain, you want to air down for this. Now, I had read some reviews of some riders that had gone up, with their big bikes, their GSs and stuff, which I would say, unless you're like super experienced off-roading on your 700 plus pound motorcycle, I would not recommend this for a larger bike, especially if you're riding solo. The Himalayan comes in at about 500 pounds, maybe 550, and if you which I'll talk a little bit more about, but if you drop it, you will use up quite a bit of energy trying to get the bike up. Now, there is quite a bit to see up here. There's old mine shafts and the old town, and if you get, and I definitely recommend this, you can get the day permit, and there's actually kind of like 2 permits you need to get to ride back here, just in case, and my attitude is support the parks. It's only like $17 to get the permits to ride up there. And you get them through the BLM website for the Clear Creek Management Area, and I'll put a link in the description of the video for that. So, kind of my first solo ride on the Himalayan. This is a really cool area to ride, and one that's kind of in my backyard, though, like I said, it did take me about an hour to get out there. And again, I want to highlight, you're completely off the grid. So, for this ride, I had my tool roll. I had like water and my fire starter, my kind of day trip gear, my little camp stove, and one of those MRI kind of meals for lunch. So I went ahead and headed up, and actually the road, it was rutty and gravelly, and I'm competent enough riding on that. My problem was I got to a section where, and you'll see it in the video, I'll highlight it when it comes up, but I got to a section that was incline, and it was pretty rutted with a lot of larger rock, gravel in the ruts. And what I realized looking back is, had I picked my line, and I didn't see the line at the time, which is why I stopped, but there was a line there, and had I picked it and committed to it, I would have been fine. I could have made it the rest of the way. But what happened was, I got up, I didn't see a line, it looked technical, I lost my confidence, and then I stopped my bike. And that's probably, I don't know how to weigh it, right? That's probably like the wrong thing to do. But then if you do commit and you don't and you're not successful, you could potentially have a bigger wreck. But I think if you just stay steady and, you know, don't over throttle yourself, that you and your bike could probably get, you know, your bike's a lot more well, okay, for me, my bike is probably more capable than I think I am. So had I stayed on the line, or had I seen the line, stayed on it, managed the throttle appropriately, and kept my balance, I think I would have been fine. But I just lost all confidence. And then what happened then was I had to back my bike out to get it on level ground so I could kind of walk up the trail and reassess. And what happened was, when I was backing my bike out, I dropped it in the rut, which now the tires were facing up and the handlebars were facing down, and it was a 500-pound bike. So I struggled for a good 40 minutes trying to rectify the bike wheel up situation, and really just totally spent all my energy. And at that point, there is no plan B, right? I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I'm by myself. I hadn't seen any other riders. I hadn't seen any other vehicles or 4x4 guys out there, guys or gals. And the only other option was, you know, to kind of trudge down, I don't know how many miles, to try to find some sketchy house I don't know, I'm not even going there. So there was no plan B. So I managed to get the bike routed, turned it around, started getting down the hill, and then some 4x4s, two 4x4 trucks came by. And I was like, where were you guys like 20 minutes ago, man? Because I totally spent myself. But they came and made sure I was all right, and I had my toolkit. So I had bent up my shift lever, so I was able, with my tire rods, to pull that out. This is kind of cool. There's some old mines you can go exploring as well. So the outcome of this event was be more diligent on picking your lines, so that I don't get in these kind of situations. And then the other thing I got, which I didn't have for this ride, which I recommend if you're riding solo, and you can see here, there was a line right there to the right. I didn't take it. I got here. I could have kept going up, but I was like, oh no, I can't make it. And there's my bike in the ditch, which I then dropped it, handlebar down, tires up in that same ditch. I was able to push it back, come up, and that was a freaking nightmare. So I bent my tank because the bars hit the tank, and bent the shift rod. And that's another picture of the rut that my bike was in. That's an image of one of the old tailing or machines or equipments they had up there when they were mining. So what I did end up getting was an InReach, and I highly recommend keeping one of those just in case, because, you know, who knows, I could have broke my leg or something, and then I would have really been stuck. And there's no guarantee in some of these remote areas that anybody's going to come by. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Look for another one. I'm going to take the road to the right this time. And I hope you guys stay safe out there. Happy trails, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.